We have an absolute mountain of information to go through today because Games Workshop have just released their brand new half-yearly report. It has everything from how much the website cost all the way to the update on the Amazon deal. I've included the link to the report in the description of the video. As I go through it, I'm literally just going to go through some of the main points, some of the big points that really stood out to me. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. So the first thing that really stands out is Kevin Roundtree addressing the IP of Games Workshop. I'm going to put the little blurb of text somewhere on the screen, probably at the bottom of the screen so you can read it along with me right now. This is right at the start of this half-yearly report, and it states, licensing, we own what we believe is some of the best underexploited intellectual property, in brackets IP of course, globally. In that period reported, we have continued to patiently seek partners that can help us fulfill this potential. We will continue to grant licenses to carefully chosen partners that respect the need for us to have complete ownership of our IP. That is a really big thing because they're looking for partners that don't want, hey, we want half of this, we want half of that. They literally want full control over their IP, so no one can come in and like change. Space Marines can change Eldar, can change Orcs or anything like that. It's the same old, same old. GW is very, very, very protective of their IP. It goes on to say, so there's no harm done to the core business. A key risk we highlight every year. We will ensure we do everything we can to make the day-to-day IP approval process seamless. This process now rests within our Warhammer studio with the experts who understand how ambitious and to have the IP knowledge. So again, people who are worrying, like, is GW going to completely sell out and everything like that? You can see right there from Kevin, they're still very, very, very protective of their IP. It states there that they want full control over their IP, even though they do licenses. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the Amazon stuff, because that is a very, very interesting blurb of text as well. We also get a nice little paragraph saluting John Blanche, who basically shaped Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer itself, with some of his most iconic art creations. Again, the text at the bottom of the screen states, we've not had many people retire from Games Workshop. During the period, John Blanche stepped down from his job as art director in our design studio. He's a creative genius, and we thank him for sharing his enormous talent and enthusiasm with us for nearly 40 years. We wish him well. He leaves us with a well-invested, talented Warhammer studio. So, yep, I salute John Blanche. Like, his art is Warhammer for me. It's absolutely iconic. His Primarch art, most of the models that we see these days are literally based off that iconic art that John Blanche has done and shaped Warhammer with. In terms of stuff like growth, from what I'm reading right now, in front of me, like, the reported core revenue grew by 11% to 235.6 million for the period. Like, trade grew by 12.6%, retail grew by 12.3%, online grew by 4.9%. So it's massive, basically. Warhammer, Games Workshop, it's growing, there's more profits, there's more everything in there. There is things like licensing down a little bit and stuff like that if you read the report, but all in all, the brand itself is just bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that shows as well, because we have had a lot of issues with, like, getting stock out. How many times have I mentioned on streams and videos, stuff like that? Like, I think Warhammer has an issue now where they're outgrowing, I personally think, the facilities that they're in, even though it mentions in this report that they finished like new hubs and stuff like that. I really do think that Warhammer is just exploding at a rate which they're a bit behind, in my personal opinion. And if you just go to a friend right now, like, some of your friends are probably talking about Warhammer, right? Like, my family come to me and talk about Warhammer and stuff because it's growing. Like, there's TV adverts about Warhammer. They're speaking it about on the radio and stuff, like with the Amazon deal and stuff like that. The Amazon deal itself, again, when we get onto that segment in this video, I think that's going to be a massive thing. I really do see within the next 5 to 10 years, there's got to be an explosion of this IP going way more mainstream. And again, that is a whole different argument within itself. Is that good or is that bad? But yeah, it's looking fantastic with the numbers for Games Workshop at the moment. Moving on, some interesting things about Warhammer community. Again, text at the bottom. It says, our new blog site continues to go from strength to strength. We have seen a good growth in numbers of hobbyists enjoying our articles and news stories. Warhammer community is the hub for our marketing activities and plays a vital role in delivering hobby news and information every day of the year. I use Warhammer community every day of the year. A lot of people use me as their Warhammer community, but I use that. I think it's a great website. One of the things I will say, I think Warhammer community basically killed the hobby blog, and I think that is a shame because there's a lot of cool hobby blogs out there, and Warhammer community launching their site kind of killed that. But that is where all the basically information is now for Warhammer. It's literally their nervous system. It is the key point to getting the information out for Warhammer. On that note, Warhammer Plus, again, text at the bottom. It says, launched in August 2021, it continues to delight and entertain a growing subscriber base. Our subscriber numbers are 169,000 at the period end 2022-2023. It was 115, so that is quite a big growth in subscribers. I'm a subscriber of Warhammer Plus. They gave it to me for free because I got the Golden Throne ticket. Would I actually subscribe at the end of this free phase? Probably not, because it just doesn't seem worth it for me. There's not that much content on there at this moment in time. I think they really do need to invest into more bat reps. I'm a big like animation guy. I don't think there's enough animations on there at the moment. But if you like it, you like it. I'm sure a core amount of people subscribe to Warhammer Plus for the model, and that's fine. You know, it's £5 a month and stuff like that. That's what people tell me. It's cheap, Valrak. I don't really mind it. But I think the core amount of people, or well, who I've spoken to, subscribe to Warhammer Plus to get that exclusive Warhammer Plus model. And, you know, I don't blame people if they want a model, because that's what we're all in it for, right? To collect these little awesome models. Now, moving on, and let's talk about the website, because we have the figures now on how much they spent on this brand new website. Again, text at the bottom. As I've already stated, online grew by 4.9% at actual rates of 6.8 at consistent currency rates. In October, we launched our new online store. There were some teething issues. Oh boy, were there some teething issues, but no showstoppers. Once again, a great team effort from all staff involved. We spent 10.8 million on this new online solution. We don't expect any significant additional investment in the years ahead. We remain focused on joined up customer experiences across all sales channels. So 10.8 million for the website. Firstly, right, before I go in on it, let me just say, I'm sure that's not all dedicated to the website. Of course, servers and everything like that is going to be a huge chunk of this. But for the website itself, I still dislike it. I don't really want to go in on it because it's like beating a dead horse at this point. Everyone's gone in on the GW website. As much as I wasn't a fan of the last one, I think the last one absolutely trumps this one. This one has just got no flavor. It's bland. It's like, I don't know, it's like a glass of water. There's nothing nice about it. Yes, it quenches your thirst, but it's hard to navigate. Things are just hard to process. Every time I log on, it asks me where I'm from, even though I said it every bloody time. It doesn't save my card details, anything like that. There's so many problems I see with this website, and with how much money potential has been spent on it, the 10.8 million, again, some of that to servers and stuff, I do think it's a massive letdown from Games Workshop. I think the website should be one of the biggest features of the brand, especially with how much sales are growing online. It's like, come on, Games Workshop, improve it. Hopefully we will see some improvements soon. I do welcome the queue system, even though that has some issues as well, to try and keep the botters away and the scalpers away and stuff like that. But hopefully we have some massive improvements on the website front going forward. And let's end it talking about the big thing, and that is Amazon. Again, I'm going to put the text at the bottom when I read this, but I have heard some whispers which may have some juicy information as well. So first, let's read the text. It says, media, as we announced on the 18th of December 2023, we have signed a contract with Amazon Content Services, LLC, for the prospective development by Amazon of Warhammer 40,000 universes into films and television series. We remain confident we will bring the worlds of Warhammer to screen like you've never seen before. What they failed to mention in that passage of text as well is that there's also a deal in place that if Warhammer 40,000 is successful, the rights to Warhammer Fantasy is also up for grabs for Amazon as well. So potentially we could get Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Fantasy TV shows. I don't know if that's Age of Sigmar or the Old World. It goes on to say Games Workshop and Amazon will work together for a period of 12 months to agree creative guidelines for the films and television series to be developed by Amazon. The agreement will only proceed once the creative guidelines are mutually agreed between Games Workshop and Amazon. Now, this is where I'm starting to hear some whispers. No apology video is going to be added to this, so don't you dare. I have been hearing that this 12-month period now actually started back in spring last year. So we should be getting to the end of it spring this year, the same time as like the Dark Angels, the Orcs, the Chaos Space Marine, the Adeptus Custodes are supposed to be out. So we should be hearing some big information during the start of this year about the Amazon and GW deal. Hopefully that turns out to be true, because I can't wait. I literally cannot wait to see what they announce, what shows is potentially on the table. Is Henry got a star in something? You know, all these things, all these questions that we want answered. This should be happening very, very soon. I personally think that the agreement's already been done. I think it's fully going ahead, and we are going to be getting a Warhammer 40,000 TV show and film probably within the next 4 to 6 years or something like that. I think it is ready to go, and this is the next stage of Games Workshop now bringing in vast new revenues to their business. Anyway, Chaperonios, that is enough waffling from me. Again, the report is linked in the description of this video. Go and check it out. Read it for yourself. There's a bunch of other things in there. I just covered some of the core points that stood out to me. I want to say a big shout out to Filthy Green Name. Thank you so much, mate, for helping me understand the figures and everything in there, the business twang, as they say. Mate, you're an absolute legend. Please, everyone, thank Filthy in the comment section as well. But yeah, go and check it out. Go and read it, and give me your thoughts, feedback, everything like that. Are you excited for some of the stuff that we've got about? Let me know what you think about the 10.8 million for the website, the Amazon deal, everything I've talked about. Post it down below if you want to, and we can have a nice little chin wag down there, as we always do. See you in a bit. Have a great day, and bye-bye.